Hey, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. You know, I'm a firm believer that every time you hit battle for any player, you should go into the battle assuming you're the best player in the game in that match, even if you objectively are not. And the reason I say that is because it's going to inform your decision making and your positioning. If you have in your mind that you are the best player on your team, then you're going to go where it matters. So we're going to call this one Go Where It Matters. What do I mean by that? Most maps have one, sometimes two critical battle areas. This map is Westfield, and it's probably one of the easiest ones to understand what I'm talking about because the most critical battle area is up here in the northwest. I'm not going to put a percentage on it, but I'd say it's quite high that the team that wins the northwest wins. The guys that are down here messing around in the southeast, it's important to make sure that they do not completely flank you, fast cap, or get all the way up around in behind you, but that rarely happens. This is a sideshow over here. I'm not saying there should be nobody over there, but don't make it you. You'll see also that as I've loaded in here with the teams, they have 3 heavies up top and we have 1. I actually spawned down in the southwest corner and drove all the way up the hill. A lot of people won't do that. Why did I do that? Because my assumption is I have to go where it matters. If I don't take my tank there, then we have a worse chance of winning. And that goes back to the when I hit battle, I assume I'm the best player in the game, even if I objectively am not. You can see it took me 1.5 minutes to get up here. We're at 13:35. But most people, when they spawn in their mediums down in that south spawn, will trundle right along the J line and say, well, I'm a medium, I'm going to have to go fight over there. That is the exact wrong decision. Let's see what happens. So I move up here. I can tell that they've got 9, maybe 10 of their tanks all stacked up here, and we're a little bit outnumbered. We had some guys go down onto the south edge of the ridge from the little town. You can see the Su-100 and a couple of guys camping on that edge. I don't like that spot very much. If they highlight themselves like that T-34 just did, sometimes they'll get a shot. If they try to push through the town, sometimes they'll get a shot. But overall, it's not really a great position. And you can see that, holy cow, their entire team's up here. So imagine if I was down on the K line futzing around with 2 mediums like that T-34, 1 E-25 and the other guy are. What would be going on up here if I was not here? Go where it matters. All right, so let's talk about how you fight in here. This is kind of the brawling zone. I get a little shot of opportunity on the RHM. He makes a mistake poking out there. The T-29 fired, so our T-29 gets in there. I push right in, even though I was still reloading, because I knew I would reload before he did if I hurried up and got in there. There are 2 TDs up on their TD spot, and I know I've got some tanks around here. Take a little bit of a risk pushing in to get a shot on the T-38A, and I know I could take aggro just like that. I see that shot come in and I back up. I was probably going to go back in there and try to get another shot, so I'm glad that he missed and made me realize my mistake. So now I've got to be careful about coming around that corner and letting those guys hit me. And you can see that we are in a slightly winning situation up here. That guy's working on him. The IS-3A is trying to take out the T-29 instead of paying attention to me. Probably a mistake on his part. T-29 really didn't know he was there. IS-3A could have probably shot me full of holes and then worked on the T-29, or his buddies would have got him. But as it stands, I'm able to take him down a few, and I'll back up. So now I've got to pull back. And you can see that they've evened this thing up, and up in the north, it looks like they're starting to win. We've got some of those guys that were on that south edge of the ridge pushing into town to try to take on some of their tanks that have pushed into town. Got 2 TDs still camping up there. And we are at least at this point neutral and holding this northwest corner. Got some guys working down in the bottom, and now I'm trying to figure out, all right, where's that T-34, where is that IS-3A? I realize I'm probably going to have to deal with the guys down in the town, but that's good news there as the IS-2 goes out. There's a T-44 and a Mod 1 still trolling around, and here comes the 8.8. So now I'm feeling like we've got some serious trouble here. Get snapped by that guy, and I return the favor. Unfortunately, I have to fix tracks, and now I am down an engine. So I don't have a lot of great options maneuver-wise. I'm going to have to hang out on the back edge of this ridge. Good news in all this battle is there isn't any arty. Trying to draw him. If he just comes up, there we go. Still have an RHM back there doing work for us. IS-3 sitting on a one-shot. And we'll continue to work up here. So I have stopped them from owning the northwest and coming around and enveloping our guys down in the town, which gives our guys down the town a little bit of freedom to deal with the tanks that have pushed in there. We continue to fight this thing out slowly, especially with my engine down. I'm just waiting for somebody to try to make a mistake here and hoping that it's not me, or attempting to make it not me. I see the IS-6 on the mini-map. He has moved up. No depression, can't get there. I see him coming. It looks like he's coming right at me, so I'll take him down. He really wanted to get a shot off on me. Mod 1's poking, and I miss him. Now I'm worried about that 8.8. I know he's in here somewhere. There he is. And he can do some good work with a push, especially in a kind of permissive environment here where there's no arty and not a lot of guys really who can flank him. And I get a shot right in there. And I'm going to continue to shoot into that sprocket. Not really hitting him where I need to be. But for the moment, I need to keep him tracked and hoping that the rest of my friends can come up and around and will await some more of these three that are left. I'm not sure if that 8.8 just didn't use his repair kit. He might have been trying to let his repair fix it instead of burning a kit, but pretty quickly here he's actually going to fix it and move. So whether I've missed the track on one of those, I'm not sure. And here he comes. So I'm just going to have to wait for him to come up over, see if I can get up under there. Couldn't quite track, a little bit to the right of the track. Get lucky on a bounce, and even though my engine's dead, I'm screaming away from him. End up bouncing there and he dies. And now we've just got to deal with the IS-3A who's up in the corner. He'll die fairly quickly here, as my broken engine doesn't allow me to get up there. So as I zoom out, if you take a look at how many of their tanks died up in this critical terrain, this is pretty typical of a map on Westfield, or of a match on Westfield. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of their tanks, 10, 11 if you count the two guys that were trolling around in the town, all up on the critical terrain. And if you think about it, more than likely, had I not come up there, had I gone down the K line or the J line and futzed around down there for a while, they'd have probably rolled up the northwest. So that's why I say every time, assume you're the best player in the game, even if, as I've said, you objectively are not, and go where the best player needs to be. Go to that critical terrain. That doesn't mean you have to be the spearhead. You can be a support tank, but you need to go to that critical terrain. Go ahead and leave the J and K line futzing around to somebody else. We'll catch you later.